Hey, Next Gen Millionaires, what is going on? It's been a few weeks since I've been in here. A lot's been happening this month. Um, I always wonder if I'm there. I think I am. You can hear me. I always wonder if my microphone, I got to turn it on, make sure it's on. And sometimes it's not. Anyways, so it's really cool. Just this month, the month of June. Lots been going on. Um, so much so many things, right? And so many conversations this month. And really, I was trying to think, okay, so what can I talk about today? Like sometimes it's hard. See, sometimes people in transformation and change, they're like, oh, even in like coaching like this, right? And just having conversations like, oh, what can we talk about? Like the job link. Um, Most of the time, I have the opposite problem. Is I'm like, okay, what do I want to talk about today? Because there's so many things. Um, anyways, it's good to see you all. It's good to be back in the group. Um, Taking a small break, not for break's sake, just because there's a lot going on, right? Anybody who follows me knows that I just finished your Fix Your Money training. We got that going. Um, and I have my next group of procedures for prosperity just kind of settling in and forming. So that's a lot of fun as well. But through this, like this last month, there's been lots of good conversations, and I wanted to like have a conversation around change and really kind of what's required for change, especially when it comes to money, right? Because people are always, well, let me backtrack. Like we've been programmed that change takes a long time, right? That we have to be consistent, and I think a lot of that comes maybe from, you know, we continue to diet and exercise a lot, right? Trying to get back down to a size or shape that we desire, right? Because we're all size and shapes, but our bodies respond sometimes pretty slowly to that. Um, Maybe because our systems in like government or in the world, in corporate settings, people are slow to make change. I don't know. That's something to think about. I don't quite know. Anyways, but most people think like, oh, if I want to change something, it's going to take a long time to do it. And so they come at me and they're like, hey, Joe, so I've been dealing with this money stuff, right? I've been dealing with these money relationships, and part of uh, the Fix Your Money training was all talking about relationships with money, right? And they come and they're like, one question I got was like, so I've been dealing with this issue for, let's say, 40 years, right? I'll use myself as the case, right? Insert whoever was helping me, but I can go to myself and say, Joe, I've been dealing with this money stuff for, I'll say 42 years because it's my whole life. But yet you're coming here saying that I can change it and it can be quick and I can change what I've been dealing with, trying to understand and deal with for 42 years. That you're saying I can change that in 90 days. Right? That was a frequent question I got. I just want to talk about that because really, you know, when we look at time and the length of time, it's really not required for change. It's not required for there to be a lot of time that passes for change to happen. Because really, at the end of the day, it's in our court, right? It's within our circle of influence how long it takes us to make the change. So when it comes to money, when it comes to changing your relationship with money, I generally tell people in 90 days, you'll see some results. Now, for some very ambitious people I've worked with, they've seen results in little as like 3 or 4 weeks. Some after one appointment with me or one conversation. Like I've had literally people have changes after one conversation. It can be that easy. The problem is we continue to complicate the change process, that transformation process. Because somewhere in our past, right, it's another interesting story. We've been told that it takes time. Well, yeah, it all takes time because time keeps ticking, but that amount of time could be literally minutes. Could be in 1 week you could make a complete I want to say 360, but like 180 on how you feel and react with money. So when people always ask me about, oh, when can you get results? When can I expect results? Well, that's on you, honestly. Generally, I see people like 6 to 12 weeks, they have results. But it depends on how thirsty you are for results. How much is not making what you want to make so you can really start creating the impact and legacy you want? How much is that really worth to you? What are you willing to do to get it? Right? Think about that. Because when we're more driven to get it, we'll do things we weren't going to do before, right? We'll start changing things up. Now picture this. I'll give you an example. Think about it. Like, just close your eyes for a moment. Just think. Like, of something you really want. And if you don't have anything right now, because people be like, Joe, there's nothing I really want, cool. Think about a time in your past when you're a child. Most children, because children can see possibilities like none other, right? We teach it out of them. But they come with like, oh, the world's just like totally full of possibilities. So we can help them when it comes to what they're trying to get, right? But think about when you're a child, and just think about a time when you like did something crazy, something tenacious, so you could get something that you wanted, right? Lock into that feeling that you're feeling about what you were willing to do. Because that right there is a key to us really getting what we want. And in this case, it's really the key for us finding that passion for us changing the way we're interacting and talking about money. And life's told us that, no, I can't change that fast. That's a fluke. You can't do that. But I'm here to tell you that time is kind of a moot point when it comes to how fast we can change. It's a part of the equation, but it's not the equation. Yeah, time's going to pass by. But really it comes down to us, our choices, our drive. That's what's going to dictate when it happens. Just think about that for a second. Is it too crazy to say that, hey, you could have a transformational moment with money in as little as like 3 minutes? Could you change one core value you have around money in like 3 to 5 minutes? You see it's possible? Because a lot of people were telling me it's not possible. However, I show with my clients time and time again that it's totally possible. Because they always get results of some sort in a quick time frame. So again, I'm going to challenge the fact every time that time's not required to see transformation. Transformation and change can happen really quick. It doesn't take a long time. It's not going to take weeks. I mean, it can if you want it to. That's up to you. You are in charge of your life. You're in charge of the outcome. Now, people find that scary sometimes. I find that empowering. But when we can make that shift in our brains and that mindset shift, especially when it comes to money, then we can start seeing rapid results right away. And that's how my clients go from making $5,000 a month to $14,000 to $20,000 a month in less than like 12 weeks, sometimes in 6 weeks. So my clients make $125,000 in 6 weeks of new money because they're willing to do this, the hard work, right? It's not always easy, but they're willing to do the work and get in there and look for the shifts and do them quickly. Because the faster you can get rid of the old stories, the quicker you can have the results you want. And those results, you guys, aren't just money. People challenge me that. They're like, oh, but Joe, I don't really just want money. I want other stuff. Well, yeah, you do, but you got to fund it. So really, when your brain starts playing tricks on you and say, well, Joe, that's so silly. Like, I don't see how this can change. I've been working on this for 40 plus years. Yeah, you have. And I honor that. But I always got to ask, what have your results been? Because if you're talking to me, it doesn't mean you have the results you want. It's time to do something different. It's time to have a new perspective on what's possible. And that possibility is things can happen fast. So you got to lean in. You really do. And like for reals, if you don't know like how to make that happen, you're like, hey, I want to change this. That's what you got to reach out to me. Send me an email. Respond to this video. Be like, Joe, I need some help. There are ways I can help you, but I can't help you if you don't ask. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know these things until people say something to me. Okay? So kind of a crash course in that, like, think about that honestly think about it. Think about how it's affecting your life. And is it time you want something different? Because if it is, then you got to start doing something different. And time is not a factor in how fast that can happen. So sit with it. And again, send me an email, respond to this video. Like if you want to change that, you want to challenge those old beliefs, if you want to find something different, it's time you reach out and we talked. Because I promise you, 3 to 5 minutes a day, you can make a lot of movement really fast. So until next week, keep working towards that impact legacy you want to make, and we'll see you next week. Bye.